This is Scott Manning coming to you live from Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. I want to thank all of my loyal here tonight. This is a very special edition of Scott Manning YouTube Sports Talk. It is my Daytona 500 post-race show. I have a lot to talk. I'm going to have a lot to talk about here in about the next 20 minutes or so. Thank you so much for being with me here tonight. Let's go right into it because we have a lot I want to talk about tonight. First off, I'm going to give you the final order of finish for this year's Daytona 500. And what a race it was. A lot of people were thinking it was going to be a great day, and it surely was. Everybody was thinking the Fords would be the cars to watch. They weren't. The Toyotas came out of nowhere to take it. And what a day it was. Congratulations to Denny Hamlin for winning his second Daytona 500. And this was a very special day for Joe Gibbs Racing. As many of you know, Joe Gibbs' son JD passed away earlier last month due to a disease that he was fighting. So Denny Hamlin won the race today, driving for Joe Gibbs. It was a 1-2-3 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing. The last time we had a 1-2-3 finish by one team, the Hendrick stable in '97. Jeff Gordon came home the winner. Terry Labonte finished second, and Ricky Craven finished third. So it was Denny Hamlin the winner. Kyle Busch, he'll have to wait another year to win the 500. He comes home second. Eric Jones came out of nowhere with a nice finish, finishing third today. Joey Logano was the highest finishing Ford. He finishes fourth today. Michael McDowell, a top 5 finish for him. He comes home fifth today. Ty Dillon, a nice run for him. He comes home sixth. Kyle Larson finishes seventh, despite being caught up in about 2 or 3 wrecks in the 500 today. Ryan Preece, the rookie, he finishes eighth today. Jimmy Johnson, despite being caught up in a mess and having a problem trying to refuel his car, he comes home ninth today. His chances of winning his third Daytona 500 will have to wait another year. Ross Chastain, a nice run for him, finishing in 10th today. And Alex Bowman, the outside front row starter, finished 11th. Brad Keselowski is 12th. After getting caught up in a wreck with just a few laps to go, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. finishes 13th. Ryan Newman comes home 14th. Parker Klickerman finishes 15th. Austin Dillon, the defending champion, finishes 16th this year. Chase Elliott, a great opportunity for him to win the 500. He'll have to wait another year. He comes home 17th. Corey LaJoie finishes 18th. BJ McLeod comes home 19th. Clint Boyer, he got caught up in a crash with about 5 laps to go. He finishes 20th. William Byron, a disappointing day for him. He finishes 21st. Jamie McMurray, everybody thought he had a great chance to win. He comes home 22nd. Brendan Gaughan, he comes home 23rd today. Landon Castle finished 24th. Kurt Busch got caught up in 2 or 3 separate incidents today. He finishes 25th. Kevin Harvick, he got caught up in a crash with just about 4 laps to go. He finishes 26th. Tyler Reddick had a great race going today. Unfortunately, he finishes 27th. Matt DiBenedetto, he led a bunch of laps in the 500 today. He finishes 28th. Oh, you got to be kidding. Oh, you got to be kidding me. Come on. Okay. All right, let's try that again. Sorry about that. My machine was acting up there. Matt DiBenedetto finished 28th today. Paul Menard had a great shot of winning the 500. He gets caught up in an accident late in the race. Ryan Blaney, he won the second stage today. He got caught up in the big one with about 10 laps to go. He finishes 31st. Eric Almirola, he had a great shot at winning the 500. He got caught up in the big one with 10 laps to go. He finishes 32nd. Daniel Suarez, one of the other Gibbs Toyotas, he got caught up in the big one as well. He finishes 33rd. Daniel Heinrich, the other Richard Childress car, he finishes 34th. Martin Truex Jr. had a bad day. He finished 35th. Matt Tiff 36th. Chris Buescher 37th. Bubba Wallace, last year he finished 2nd. This year it's 38th. Cody Ware finished 39th. And Casey Mears rounds out the field, finishing 40th. So those are your finishes for this year's Daytona 500. And what a 500-mile race it was. Right from the drop of the flag, It was a great day. And what a battle it was from start to finish. I mean, everybody thought the Fords were going to dominate. And I was surprised. I did not see the domination from the Fords. It was the Toyotas that really dominated the day. Yes, I'll give you Ryan Blaney won a stage, but he got caught up in a wreck late. And then when those Gibbs Toyotas got going late in the race, Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, Eric Jones coming home first, second, third, and a 1-2-3 finish for Joe Gibbs Racing. That was a great moment. Last year, Denny Hamlin did not win a race. This year, he starts off the season by winning the biggest one of them all, the Daytona 500. And a lot of people, I was thinking throughout the day, would it be cool to see to see Denny Hamlin in the 11 win the race? Because he had J.D. Gibbs on his mind all day. Well, Coach Gibbs, you did it. You got the job done. And the bottom line is, what a moment. And what a Daytona 500 it was from start to finish. I mean, when that flag dropped and everybody knew how crazy it was going to get, it lived in the Daytona 500 today, lived up to all the hype. I mean, in the final 10 laps, I knew the first two stages were going to be crazy. There was no doubt in my mind. However, when it comes down 10 laps to go, we knew the rule book was going out the window, and I knew we were going to have a slugfest. Everybody knew it. I knew it. You knew it. We knew this year's Daytona 500 was going to be crazy. The bottom line is, Denny Hamlin got the job done driving the Gibbs Toyota. Kurt Busch, he started 31st. He comes home with a second place finish. But you know what? Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch started 31st. He comes home second. He doesn't want to be another Dale Earnhardt. He doesn't want to be. I'll tell you right now, with Kyle Busch, I'll say this. He doesn't want to be another Dale Earnhardt. He doesn't want to be another Darrell Waltrip or another Buddy Baker. Waited almost 17, 18, 20 years to finally win the Daytona 500. But it was a great day for all. Now, pole sitter William Byron got caught up in 2 wrecks. He finished 21st. Jimmy Johnson, my Uncle Jim, made this bold prediction. He said Jimmy Johnson would cause 2 wrecks. I even agree with him by saying he's going to cause 2 or 3 wrecks today. He got caught up in one, not of his making. I mean, I thought for sure Johnson was going to be down and out. When he came out of the pits with his fuel mechanism or fuel thing hanging off the car, that was absolutely unbelievable that he still managed to finish. But his chances of being a 3-time winner and joining Dale Jarrett, Bobby Allison, and Jeff Gordon as a 3-time winner will have to wait another year. Kurt Busch, first ride for Ganassi Racing, ends in a nightmare. He finished 25th today. He got caught up in the first wreck back at the 50th lap of the first quarter of the race. He got caught up with Bubba Wallace and a couple of other people. The moment of the race that really stuck out was with about 10 laps to go, and I saw we had about a 21-car melee. I'm thinking, that's over half the field's been eliminated. And everybody knew, and everybody was thinking, we had 5 Fords that were going to gang up on those 2 Toyotas. It didn't happen. Clint Boyer got caught up in a wreck, took Kevin Harvick with him and a few other cars out of the race, and it was a wild one. But you know what? Throughout this year's Daytona 500, I've learned a lot of things. This year's 500-mile speed classic was the final restrictor plate race. Starting the next race, they're running a new aero package, a new spoiler package, and what's going to happen at Talladega? Because everybody knows the restrictor plate rules are going out the window. What will happen? Will we have the close quarters racing that we've gotten to know and love? Or will we have another Bobby Allison type crash where Bobby knocks the fence down, nearly takes out flagman Harold Kinder along the way? There's some questions that need to be answered there. This was the final restrictor plate race in NASCAR as we know it. The bottom line is, it's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting to see what happens at Talladega in late April. There's some questions that need to be answered there too. But for the time being, congratulations to Denny Hamlin, winning his 2nd Daytona 500. And there's a few other names I want to give some recognition to. Michael McDowell, we hardly ever hear of him. I'm going to give him a Hard Charger award. He charged up towards the front. He finishes 5th. Kyle Busch, I'm going to give him a Hard Charger award. Started 31st, he finished 2nd. Eric Jones, I don't know where he started, but I'm going to give him a Hard Charger award. He came out of nowhere. Ryan Preece is going to get my Rookie of the Year award. Ross Chastain, I'm going to give him a special award because he finished 10th, and his car came out of it unscathed despite all the wrecking in the 500. The headache award of the race, there's a lot of them I could give him to. But the biggest headache award of the race has to go to Jimmy Johnson. He finished 9th. His crew had to work on the left rear quarter panel of his car after he got hit from behind in one of the other cautions earlier in the race. Austin Dillon, last year's winner, finished 16th. That's a disappointment. Chase Elliott, he had a rough time during speed weeks. He finishes 17th. Kevin Harvick, I picked him to win the 500. He finished 26th. He didn't even lead a single lap today. Kurt Busch won the 500 2 years ago. I was thinking maybe his first ride for Ganassi would get him a victory in the 500. Didn't happen. He finished 25th today. But of all the headaches in this year's Daytona 500, Jimmy Johnson got the headache award. He managed to finish in the top 10. But I'll tell you right now, there's a lot of people I could give the headache of the race award to. But Jimmy Johnson, I got to give it to him. Matter of fact, only 3 cars came out of it unscathed without a single wreck. Denny Hamlin, Kyle Busch, and Ross Chastain. All three. Those are the only 3 cars that came out of the 500 without a scratch. That is absolutely unbelievable. Now the Daytona 500 is over. What's next? It's on to Hotlanta. We go to Atlanta Motor Speedway for a 500-mile race next week, where they honor the United States military. For the Flag of Our Honors 500 down in Atlanta, personally myself, I'd like to call it the Dixie 500, because to me, NASCAR is the old good old boy roughneck hillbilly sport. A lot of those guys, and I'll tell you right now, when I was raised watching NASCAR, I was raised on, I'll tell you what, everything that happened here today was one of them bad deals, Sometimes you got to hope and pray for a good break. It just didn't happen today. That's all there was to it. The 61st Daytona 500 is over, and the restrictor plate rules are going out the window. So what's next? A new aero package, which a lot of people are, and there's a lot of fans that are a little bit concerned about that. It means we may have closer racing in Atlanta than a lot of people think. That could happen. Bottom line is, we'll have to wait and see what happens in Atlanta. But I'm going to be a little bit more interested in what happens at Talladega. No restrictor plate. Anything can happen there, and it usually does. And will we see speeds at about 200 miles an hour like we did today at Daytona? Only time will tell that, but keep in mind, this was the last restrictor plate race as we know it in NASCAR. And what a Daytona 500 it was. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for my closing thoughts. This year's 500 was very memorable for a lot of reasons. We lost a lot of NASCAR figures before this year's 500, which I didn't know about. We lost former flagman Doyle Ford. We lost him. J.D. Gibbs passed away. And what an emotional moment it was for Denny Hamlin when he won the Daytona 500 tonight. And I'm going to say this now. This year's 500 was very memorable. We only had one big one, and it was late in the race, like it's supposed to be. What will happen in April at Talladega? Will we have another big one, or will we have a car go flying through the catch fence? Only time will tell that. But the 500 is over, and Denny Hamlin is the winner. Kyle Busch, he'll have to wait another year. Michael McDowell, a hard charger award, he finished 5th. Kyle Busch, I gave him a hard charger award. Kyle Larson, he got caught up in a couple of wrecks, he finished 7th. Ryan Preece, the rookie, a dream week with a top 10 finish in the 500. Brad Keselowski, Started 35th. At one point, he was running in the front of the pack. He got caught up in a wreck. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., he got caught up in an accident with a couple of laps to go. Austin Dillon, he had a chance to do what only Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, and Sterling Marlin have ever done. Win the 500 back-to-back. It did not happen today. He finished 16th. Chase Elliott, hoping to put the famous number 9 into victory lane like his dad did twice. He'll have to wait another year. He finished 17th today. Clint Boyer had a shot at winning the 500, but it all went wrong with just 4 laps to go when he got turned into the wall. But what about Matt DiBenedetto? Led a bunch of laps today, got caught up in the big one with 10 laps to go. He finished 28th. How disappointing for him. Ryan Blaney, he won the second stage today. He got stage points. Ryan Blaney won the second stage today. He finished 31st. Eric Almirola, last year with a half a lap to go, he got turned into the wall by Austin Dillon. This year, 10 laps from the finish, and it ended in the wall and in a shower of sparks. But I could go on and on. Martin Truex Jr., one of the outside guys to win the 500, one of the outsiders, had an outside shot, finished 35th. Whew, what a day. What a Daytona 500. I've been up since 7:30 this morning getting ready for the race. I did the pre-race show on Saturday morning. I am here tonight to do the post-race show. And what a day it was. The Daytona 500 was over. Jimmy Johnson started out Speed Weeks by winning the Clash last Sunday. Then Thursday night in the 150s, in the dual races on Thursday night, Kevin Harvick took the duel, Joey Logano took the other one, and everybody was thinking Harvick and Logano are going to be the 2 strongest cars in the 500. Because we had the youngest front row in 500 history in William Byron and Alex Bowman. Everybody was thinking it was going to be the Fords dominating. It wasn't. The Toyotas and the Chevy guys got together. Joe Gibbs and Rick Hendrick got together and figured out how are we going to run with the Fords. They figured it out today, and it showed. The 61st Daytona 500 is over, and it's the final restrictor plate race in NASCAR as we know it. What will happen next year in 2020? Of course, there's a lot of money for Denny Hamlin to make it all worthwhile. And this 500 victory was dedicated to J.D. Gibbs, who lost his fight with an illness back earlier in the month. And Doyle Ford, he passed away this past Friday, a long-time flagman in NASCAR, which the flag stand used to be his office. He passed away on Friday. I didn't know about that until earlier in the week. The Daytona 500 is now over. It's on to Atlanta. The season has started. Who will win the championship? We don't know. Speed Weeks ends. The Speed Weeks at Daytona is now officially over. And the Daytona 500 is now done. And they've already started the next countdown to the 500. The countdown to the 2020 Daytona 500 has officially started. Denny Hamlin can enjoy this for 1 year. Could he possibly do what Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, and Sterling Marlin have done and win it back-to-back in 2020? We'll have to wait and see on that. But for tonight, Denny Hamlin, go out to eat, have fun with your family, and this victory is dedicated to the memory of J.D. Gibbs, Joe Gibbs' son who passed away earlier in the month. This is a special moment. Denny, enjoy this moment, man. You've earned it, and the bottom line is you won the Daytona 500 for a second time. And you've joined the Two-Timers Club. You joined Sterling Marlin, Jimmy Johnson, and a host of others. And I'm going to tell you right now, I extend my congratulations to you for winning the 500, and you got the job done, and what a day it was. It's on to Atlanta next Sunday. The 500 is over, and Denny Hamlin is the winner. All right, folks, I'm going to go ahead and get on out of here. I want to thank you guys so much for taking the time with me here tonight. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. My name is Scott Manning. All you have to do is scroll down, type my name, actually you have to type my name first, then scroll down, look for this pretty face, click subscribe, and you'll see all the sports videos I have done so far. I want to thank you guys so much for being with me here tonight. You guys have a fantastic night. Thank you so much for being with me, and God bless. Good night, everybody, and thank you.